Has 2023 been, to say the least, a little bit disappointing on the TV and movie front? Let's discuss. Welcome to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. At the point of recording this, and hopefully when you're watching it, it is New Year's Eve. And at this time of year, of course, we think about the TV and the movies that we're going to be looking forward to in 2024, but also the year that's just gone by. And I have to say, has it been a very disappointing, even mediocre year for the genre I love the most, science fiction? Well, I had to have a look and think about the movies I've enjoyed this year, the movies I haven't enjoyed this year, the TV shows that have really impressed me, and the ones that just didn't. And in all honesty, the list of films I really enjoyed this year from science fiction is quite short. The list of TV series I've enjoyed this year is even shorter. There's a bunch of stuff I'm okay with, and there's a couple of shows I've downright hated. I've only been able to pick 3 films, really, this year that I've actually, hand on my heart, honestly enjoyed that are science fiction. The first film was on Amazon, and to be honest, not many people watched it. It was called Totally Killer. It was a slasher film with elements of Back to the Future. This woman builds a time machine. She goes back in time. Murder, murder, murder. Hacky, hacky, hacky. It's not the greatest film ever made. But why it's made my list was because I was expecting nothing. I was expecting a terrible movie. And actually, it's all right. It knows it's silly. It plays with itself. It has fun. And to be honest, it's just a good, silly sci-fi film. I actually really enjoyed it. Godzilla Minus One is another film I have to say I absolutely adored. Obviously, this is a Japanese production. It's only about 120 minutes long. It is completely out there. All of the special effects, it's absolutely glorious to watch. The special effects are stunning. If you actually want a really good monster movie, don't bother watching Monarch. That might be on the list of things that disappointed me a little bit this year. Hint, hint. Go and watch Godzilla Minus One. It is a genuinely brilliant movie, and you will be in awe when you see it. The bigger the TV you've got, by the way, the more you're going to enjoy this film. The last one on my list is No One Will Save You. Now, this was, again, a relatively small alien invasion movie. It was not complicated. There's virtually no dialogue in the movie. Virtually nobody says anything. But it's just about aliens. They invade, and then the story focuses on basically one character in her little small town desperately trying to survive. It's genuinely just one of those films that was simple. It's not trying to be massively clever. It's just good. I have to say, though, that I'm really struggling to pick any more sci-fi movies this year that I've enjoyed. I don't think Marvel have particularly done anything I enjoyed. I didn't even really enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It was okay. There was a few other movies at the cinema I went to watch that, again, were just okay. It does feel that Hollywood has lost some of its bravery in the last couple of years. It does seem that they are so convinced with being for everybody that all they're actually creating is vanilla ice cream movies that actually are bland and tasteless. I want to see a little bit more Rocky Road, Rum and Raisin. I want to see a little bit more flavor to my movies. But that means Hollywood's got to be brave. And at the moment, it's not. But how about on TV? Because obviously, streaming, all of that beautiful, lovely money going into the streaming providers, yeah? I mean, look, for example, at how much Monarch cost. Now, I normally say that Apple do quality over quantity. They create really good television shows. They don't tend to spend too much money, but they did in this case. They spent a significant budget each month. They got big stars in it again, which is something they tend to do anyway. And they created a TV series that is, again, good, but it's not great. All the way through the series, they keep hinting at all these mysteries from the monarch's past, but those mysteries aren't particularly intriguing. You're not desperate to find out what's happening. I found myself waiting for the next monster to turn up, playing with my phone occasionally, enjoying Kurt Russell in this role and his son Wyatt, but not loving it. And to be honest, that is going to be a theme throughout most of the TV shows I'm going to talk about. For example, Silo. Silo was really good. Beautiful acting, really beautifully written. And by the time you get to the end, for me, I found myself not really caring what was happening anymore. Season 2 of The Foundation came out again on Apple. And to be honest, that was probably my favourite proper sci-fi series this year. I actually thought that was stunningly well made. But again, I do find it a little bit hard work. You do have to concentrate on it. I'm not enthralled by it. I'm not like desperately waiting for it to come out each Wednesday or whatever day it came out, and then, getting up early to watch. I just enjoyed it. It was okay. I'm looking forward to season 3. But at no point did it really, really excite me or really get me or really draw me in. And that's what I really want from my sci-fi. I want to come away from it and be talking about it on this channel. I want to be talking about it to my friends. I want to be so excited by what I've seen that it makes me think about things differently. None of these shows did that this year. Loki season 2 was Marvel getting back to its best. To be honest, I enjoyed Loki season 2. It was interesting. But all the way through, I was just thinking, they're just trying to wrap up the whole Kang thing just in case that guy does go to prison, which he looks like he's going to. And they've sacked him now anyway. I just really loved Tom Hiddleston. I didn't really love the series. The characterizations was great, but nothing really happened. It wasn't as exciting as maybe I was hoping. Now, one program I am looking forward to from Marvel in the next couple of weeks, in fact, is Echo. Now, that does look like that's got some excitement, and I think Marvel are now going back in the right direction. But they did release the worst television show possibly I've ever seen, Secret Invasion. It was, and I'm not mincing my words here, awful. Now, She-Hulk came out at the end of 2022, and I didn't like that either. But at least I could appreciate that they were trying to do something different with it. They were trying to have a show that was very different for them. I felt like it was an interesting business model to take the mick out of your core fan base. Bit strange for me. But at least they were trying to do something. Secret Invasion was supposed to be them getting back to their roots. It was supposed to be a classic Marvel series, but it made no sense. It was incredibly boring. And to be honest, it took one of the best characters in Fury and twisted him about and made him look like a complete idiot at times. It was a very strange series. I didn't quite get what they were trying to get at. And I really, really think whatever they were trying to achieve, they failed miserably. This was not just one of the worst TV shows of 2023. It's genuinely one of the worst TV shows I've ever forced myself to watch. Now, one TV show that was genuinely good was The Last of Us. I really enjoyed that. I have to admit, I never really played the game. I'm not a big gamer. But I found the storyline intriguing. I thought it was very well acted. I thought it was very well written. Again, I found it a little boring at times. But to be honest, when it got good, it got really good. I'm really looking forward to season 2. And I just think that was really, really good television. But then we have shows like Gen V. Again, it's not awful. It's okay. They lost me in the first 2 minutes with the blood and the stabbing with the blood and things. Now, I actually am a fan of The Boys, but I've started to get a bit disappointed by it of late. I think that was a show that started at 100 miles an hour and it didn't give itself anywhere to go. So their only way now of sort of keeping the audience engaged is by continuing to shock us. The problem is, I think, that they're going beyond bad taste. They're going into just the vulgar. And for me, they're losing my attention. Gen V, again, did exactly the same thing. It started at 100 miles an hour for me and didn't give themselves anywhere else to go. It's a show I didn't get past the second episode. And to be honest, I won't be going back to. And I'm not even massively confident I'm going to be going back to The Boys when it comes back. At least The Boys, though, has characters I want to see through. I enjoy watching. You know, Carl Urban is just a legend. He just is. Gen V didn't even have that. So no, it was a show that lost me really quickly. The one show this year, though, that I did actually get up early for and got excited for was Picard Season 3. Now, Strange New Worlds, if you're a regular SciTrekker, you'll know, disappointed me massively. 2 or 3 of those episodes were just bad. A couple of the episodes were good, and a couple of the episodes were just there. But Picard Season 3 was genuinely really enjoyable. I loved it. But even that, in hindsight, was disappointing. It was very predictable. We knew exactly that the Enterprise D was going to appear, and we knew exactly where it was going to be. They built it up, but we all knew from the second episode. We all knew that this was going to be the Borg from pretty much the first 5 minutes of the episode. I'm not 100% certain the finale made massive sense. I'm not sure the whole thing with Data made massive sense. And I do know the producers made several continuity errors which were quite irritating if you were watching the show closely. So, even a show that I absolutely adored in 2023 disappointed me. So, I have to ask the question, was 2023 just a very disappointing and mediocre year? I think it was. Now, there are some really exciting things coming up in 2024. I'm hoping they will disappoint a little bit less. And now I'm going to talk about that in my next video. But guys, get into the comments and tell me what you think. From a science fiction point of view, has there been anything that has been really brilliant, that really deserved our attention? There have been some great shows. Personally, I love The Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone on Paramount. That might be my favourite show this year. And there was that thing, was it Poker Face? That was a genuinely brilliant show. That actually might even be kind of sci-fi because she could kind of tell if people were lying. So I might even have to put that in the sci-fi area. If we can class that as a sci-fi, it's probably the best sci-fi this year. I'm not sure we quite can though. But it was a really, really good show. There is some good stuff out there. It's just in our genre of sci-fi, I'm not sure anything's really stood out. But am I wrong? Get into the comments and tell me what you have really loved this year and what has just been okay. And what have you hated? Get into the comments and tell me exactly what you think. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can go to patreon.com/SciTrek where most of our new videos premiere first. And you get to see them without the adverts. I don't know why I just said first like that. These things happen when you're recording. Finally, you can go to SciTrek.co.uk, which is our dedicated website where we do articles based on a lot of our videos. And we try to add a bit more information for you to digest. Go and check it out. As always, please stay safe. And I'll see you next time.